that word.
Well, it does, except that I had the impression that it was international coverage because why would Ecuador be there? And it's the Philippines. It's the,
Famous. What are you
All right, let's tell the story now.
it's the Philippines.
He's hiding now.
I don't mind this. No, I'm used to this.
Hey, when you're a famous author.
Green eggs.
Okay.
No.
What were we talking about? I forgot what we were talking about.
Hermaphrodite.
Ah!
Oh, God.
Thank you, the hermaphrodite. And he's a man named Carlitos, who lives in the Philippines, and he is a hermaphrodite. And he is pregnant. The story has been going on for some time about
The pregnancy.
this dude being pregnant. And it turns out that he's not. It is not a real story.
Oh, okay.
It
Oh,
turns
like an
out
urban
that
rumor or something?
It has been trying to be okayed for a sex change operation
I see.
for a long time.
I see.
And couldn't
So
get
that
it.
he could marry the person of his choice.
I see.
That's right.
But
He also says that in his heart, he's a woman.
Because
And
he
always
was,
has been.
what I read, I just read like 2 or 3 sentences while in Ecuador, but I can't recall where I read the sentences. But he's hiding. He's hiding.
I got it. I got it beat. That's why I love this stuff.
You're invading privacy.
Oh, excuse me. Well, I'll just sit right here and I'll be in the picture for a while.
There you go.
Yeah, I read that.
We don't live near them is one of the things, you know. I've never lived around one of those machines.
They're
That you see them every,
he likes
2 or 3
them.
people we've seen have down here. But that's it. And at the college, I think at the high school where we taught for a while, there were thousands.
In my defense, all I can say, I was strongly influenced by the Paul Morrissey School of Filmmaking, where you just turn the camera on and
What, by dinner with Andre or something?
yeah, exactly. Because the best parts of the trip are the good conversations you have with people, and people end up making films or photographs of like scenery and stuff. They never capture the human side, which is like right now talking about green eggs and hermaphrodites.
It's a good combination.
Dr. Seuss.
Really? Green eggs and ham?
That's what I was thinking of. Hey, tell me about what's that weird? It looks like an avocado with like scales. It's called like chirimoya.
It's chirimoya.
Chirimoya.
It's a fruit, and it's a magic fruit.
A magic fruit?
Yes, sir. It is the no pain during birth.
Oh.
So now we've gone directly from green eggs to painless birthing.
Oh, so it's an
Simon
animal.
was
Oh,
born
that's
here.
fantastic.
Our little boy was born here, and the midwife who took care of me was a midwife who was trained in traditional medicine as well as modern medicine, which is the reason he would allow me to do. And she recommended that I drink the tea and the seeds of tea. Want to control the timing, and because most of the births are in training in school.
I see. So they're training the doctors. That's interesting.
But they're well trained. They get so well trained, that's what they do.
The honcho doctors
That's what
that you
they do.
pay for who are not training anybody and who are doing
They
it
do
in
them too.
private clinics do them too. And for some reason,
Yeah, that could be possible.
it's just for motivation.
I mean, it's just.
Simone's birth, I think we figured it out, including prenatal care, and there was prenatal on this one, and everything. Cost us something like $28.
Well, I
That's a
can't.
cheap
I
figure.
cannot.
That's hard to beat.
Home births are cheaper.
Oh, they are.
That would be true in the States.
And some of it was for syringes we didn't need.
But I think the best part was the magic fruit. I was so impressed. I had a real hard time with the first one. It was just...
If you were uncomfortable, I missed it.
It is, of course, entirely possible that perhaps, even without the tea, his birth would have been easier.
Yeah. It's
But
what you're-
the women
you
use
said
that tea here in order to alleviate.
Interesting.
That's why they
It
do
would be
that.
interesting to have
You didn't even
a
get a buzz.
chemical.
I mean, it wasn't a buzz.
No, it's not a druggy tea. It's not like you got out of it. It's not like
Would be
wasn't
interesting
sedative or anything.
have a chemical analysis to see what's in
There
it.
were 2 women down here who are nurse midwives in the States who actually took it reproduces from a bulb fruit, and they took the bulbs back with them in the States to see if they can grow them in the greenhouse. 'Cause they wanted to
They must have snuck them back too. 'Cause you can't do
The
that.
flowers, the chirimoya they can get there, but the flowers are not from, well, they don't grow naturally in the north, and they thought they might be able to introduce them.
Well, if you plant the seeds, nothing will grow there.
Oh, it grew.
Well, it's because it's the climate. I don't know how well it would live.
So it grows from either seeds or a bulb. Is that right?
The flower grows from a bulb.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about
Okay.
trying to
Oh,
grow.
okay.
She's
It's
talking
two different.
about-
Two different.
okay.
There were two things that went into the tea. Chirimoya you can buy because there's enough of a Latin population in the north now that if you go to where the Latins buy their fruits and vegetables, you can buy chirimoya, but you can't buy flowers.
Also, the seeds are so pretty to take them home too.
The
Nobody
chirimoya
back
seeds,
can bug you.
I'm sure you could grow chirimoya. They're growing.
Black coral.
They're growing all kinds of tropical fruits in California. They grow tree tomatoes and maracuya is being grown there.
Have you ever heard of maracuya?
I just saw this in ice cream today. It's the first time. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff down here
Oh,
I
it's
want to
great.
try before we leave. Time's
It's
running
great.
out. Yeah.
Maracuya is worth your trouble.
Well, that was a silly reason for wanting to do a hysterectomy. I mean, that's not reasonable at all.
You mean
Strictly on age. That's just
right?
much
Just
too
because of my
arbitrary.
age, and it wasn't even my
No,
first.
that's too arbitrary. Yeah.
And I went to
No, but
two
it's
doctors.
custom.
I went
It's
to two
custom.
doctors,
That's the
and
way
Juan
it's done.
Pazmiño said that he would probably end up doing a cesarean too, but he was at least willing to wait and decide in hospital.
Right, but he
That-
would have decided
that
on the
meant he was
cesarean.
going to
You knew
decide
that.
on the cesarean. He just knew I didn't want to hear that, so we didn't want
Right.
to.
God, my cousin had her first and only child at the age of 40. You know, like
Hey, you can do
there's
that.
a baby.
It works.
And you know, I have another good friend who had her firstborn in her late 20s and happens to be a tiny lady and happened to have 20 hours of labor where nothing happened, and then had a very, very high fever, you know,
She did.
Betty,
Perfect.
with prolonged ruptured membrane. And at that point, you say, hey, this baby's got to come out, you know, and mom's
No,
got
no,
a
here
fever,
it's just a.
fever of 104.
Here is right. It's what they do. It's custom.
Yeah.
What are we cooking tonight?
We're making pancakes.
Ooh,
Could you set the table so we could sit with Marnie and Keith?
Sure.
I ran into them downtown.
I think it's.
We had tea together and dinner together. It was fun.
no, Gigi had music days.
Yeah, I mean, she was up and about, right?
Yeah, she was amazing.
See the present back in the friend who's been here with the baby.
Slugs! Oh! Do you know what we do in our garden? Is this a joke? It's gotta be a joke. Do not add salt, of course not. We go out at
Why
night.
can't you add salt?
They turn into.
Dry up.
Yeah.
It
Turn to
the
They,
water,
slime.
they disintegrate.
right, the water, they osmose to
They
death,
just,
you know,
they
before
just
your very
turn,
eyes.
they just turn into this yellow
Oh,
mud. You
Oh,
can make a
we've done
monster
that for years,
movie.
Sneaks.
If you want to make
Snails
monster
too.
I've done it.
movies,
I
yeah.
put salt on them when we
Up in
found them.
Otavalo, they eat freshwater snails, the old poor people. Oh, boy.
Hey, here
Hey,
they eat
where we lived in
the
this
June bugs.
They eat
The little
June
June
Oh,
bugs.
those
I mean,
disgusting
beetles, the
things.
beetles.
Oh,
the
those are
flying beetles,
disgusting.
they don't
Yeah.
do anything.
No, roasted.
No.
First you take the
Not
legs off.
savage,
and
yeah.
roast
No, we heard a story about someone who just ate them raw.
Yeah.
They do
Your
it
kids
in
like
the
them.
country.
Roasted
It's fine.
That's
should be fine.
wild.
Kind of like popcorn all
They
over
take the
the
legs
place.
off them and fry them.
That's wild, because their larvae have just absolutely decimated our flower beds.
They're what we call grubworm.
Yeah, they just
Oh, they're the
Nasty.
commonest.
Ew.
Yeah. White
Hey,
pig,
oh,
the white
cultura.
pig.
Yeah, they just.
Worms for protein programs.
Man,
are-
those
are
things.
no, in serio. They're actually happening and they're happening in Ecuador.
They're
There's all
eating-
kinds of things happening around, yes.
They're
And
eating
production
those?
of food products, because it's super high protein.
That's
It's
interesting.
as
But is it
a protein
is
source.
this
And so they're
is it
farmed.
biologically available? I mean, does it contain the amino acids essential for humans? That's
It's
the thing.
excellent, no, it's good
On
shit.
that note, I'm going to
Because-
bed.
It's good shit. No, it's got everything you need. It's in the States. It's even happening in the States.
Worms?
Yes.
I got plenty of worms.
Yes.
Well, but we don't
Probably
eat
you do
them.
in Ecuador.
Walking around
Did you
barefoot.
let me tell you
while
about-
were here?
We have very, very good.
Attacking slugs,
You
though.
probably had a couple of pounds of them used. They go away.
I got sick one day, 24 hours.
Not a beaver, though.
Mild.
No, but
Beavers will show up after
that's
we
only
get
if
back.
you don't anything. If you don't open anything,
Do you know what we do? In our home, we go out at night because we're composting in our front yard because we're building up our flower beds. So the slugs, oh, that's right, we had a minor problem the other day. But the slugs are basically coming out to eat the apples
Millions
and
of
what have you.
So,
So we go out at night, Jay goes out at night with a flashlight and a can of salt.
Which
works, man.
which I do
Turn into
more
something
as a
else.
tension reliever because I don't want to salinate my soil. So
not
this is
too much.
just, but we do the
Use
beer.
the shaper of the small.
The beer or yeast trick. I have diatomaceous earth, which for them is like going over razor blades, so it keeps them out of areas. But the beer is the best, you know,
Oh,
because they
that's
just
wild.
drink it and die. They drown in
That's
the
what they
alcohol.
taught us in
Yeah,
Germany.
that's
Yeah.
Peace Corps training.
Yeah, they do.
These words are just to teach how to kill things. It's like, what is how to kill it? Very good.
Good night, all. Hasta mañana.
On that note,
On that note, I'll bid you good night.
it was amazing.
Sorry.
It's so bad. Green eggs.
Hey, they've got an Elmer
Did you
Leonard.
check out the name of the company?
Swan Time Limited. It is a joke, I hope.
Yes, I do have an Elmore Leonard. Did you notice my Elmore Leonard?
I really love Elmer Leonard.
What?
Elmer Leonard, the oh no, I'm sorry, I'm
I
thinking of
don't
Dick
know who that-
Francis. You're right.
Elmore Leonard's great. That just doesn't happen to be one of his great books.
Well, you've got a.
You want to read me the other books?
I'm gonna try to finish Green Eyes one. Yeah, I like that one. I just joy.
Uh-huh.
11 Hour House was a great.
I have
great
The
I haven't read it yet.
gastropod.
I have.
Oh, I won't spoil it for you.
It's all over the place. It's a book that you run into in Ecuador. I run into it 12 times in Ecuador. And I took it. And I did like Green Eyes. I enjoyed it. And I heard 11 Hour House.
What movie
is that?
What is
Did you
it?
read the fine print yet?
Is that buttermilk?
Yes.
No. This is natural cow milk, which was boiled this morning.
Wow.
Here when you have your coffee.
I didn't know you could
Point
do
to the
slugs.
cow. I mean, we're talking direct, uttered to your
Have you ever seen buttermilk here? Is it available?
sneaks. Have you ever seen
So the
buttermilk?
actual
here?
contents listed under this link.
Yeah, we haven't been authorized to open it yet.
We have to have a family conference tomorrow because everyone has a different desire, or slightly different desire as to what to do with this tea.
It might.
What are the desires?
It might.
Simon
have
wants to open
mushrooms.
it. And so it's
Oh no,
inside.
I don't think you should do that.
Dexter wants to
Well, I think you should
open
have
it
it.
and
Well, I wanna try eating our
maybe
slugs
even
then.
eat
Flower.
what's inside.
Flower, well, see.
Because he figures there's something edible in it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And he wants the label for his journal.
I'm
because
sure he
thinks
does.
It's a great label.
I'm sure. So he gave us a present. Essentially,
I
he wants
want
all
to-
of it.
I want to take the label
He's
off.
like that. But
Because
Never
it
read
tells
it.
you that underneath the label it tells you what's really in it. So I want to remove the label, see
Oh,
what's
but
in
nobody's
it, and
done
then
it.
put the
Nobody's
label back
screwed
on
it.
so I can show it to other people.
I
Just like
think
it's
Steam
it's,
it. Steam it up.
yeah, but I guess this has to be a
Yeah.
decision that everybody makes.
Somebody
It
tried,
hasn't been
somebody
made.
tried.
Because
Yes,
Dexter
yes.
said he didn't exactly give it to us. He wants to share it with us, which means he still has it.
Yeah,
Sitting
wow.
there.
And he wants most of it. I
He
mean, he
wants
wants
the
to
label.
at least share what's in it and take the label. Well, it can be.
It's mushrooms.
I mean,
Canned mushrooms.
Simon says,
Yeah,
let's
you
just
think
open
so?
it. Let's
Yeah.
It's like it's got that mush to it.
can
Simon says,
mushrooms,
let's just
I
open the can and then close it again.
I say we
it's
steam it.
water.
Oh, Irene, do you have any scalpels with you?
What do you folks do in your life? Are you medical people?
Irene's a doctor, and I sell pumps, water and chemical pumps.
Lady Field.
It's like when you were telling about how you have to wait for the pressure. I went,
He's
oh, I know
a
what they need.
mechanical engineer who
You know what
supports
do you know what we have? Do you know what our water pump system looks like?
I'm guessing it's a jacuzzi because I've seen a lot of those down there.
I don't know about it, Brandon.
You got it handy? I'll take
Well,
it.
it's it's on the street. It's on the street. I'd be happy to show it to you
Okay.
tomorrow because we have many mysteries of our life, lives
Oh, he
here
said you
are
need,
related
you
to
need
that
you
machine.
need a flow meter regular. What was it? What does he need?
You need a, well, I don't even know if they're available here, but it's
Probably
called a
not.
balanced flow. What it is it's a tank, and it's got like a rubber baffle chamber, so you can pressurize one
Right.
side with air,
Uh-huh.
the other side fills up with water.
Right.
So as the pressure varies,
That's what we think we
That's
have.
what we think we have, but it's just not.
the,
But if you looked at it, would you know what kind of tank it is?
Would you
I'll
know,
give it a
or
shot.
hello, could you be able, if you could tell me which screw, I open up to bleed it. It is awful vocabulary there. I mean, that's really
Drain it.
disgusting. But how about, opening something to let the water out?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can give it a try. I mean, I've never.
You mean like,
You know anything about your field?
like draining
Isn't
a
that the
hot
irony?
water?
You're working with catalogs and you're doing these quotes and you don't have any hands-on experience.
I got one you can put your hands on, your feet on, your face on, and if you know anything about it and can tell me anything about it, like, oh, this is a fern dance, and it works on.
Wouldn't it be great
You know,
if it was
hey,
a
I don't
Goulds? If it's one of our Goulds balanced flows.
Oh, I think that'd be
Fine.
wonderful. Yes, and see, then you'd be able to tell me something.
It's already showing.
It could be a machine, you look at it, and you're gonna say,
The water temperature's
You're gonna look at it and say,
so big.
I don't know what the fuck this thing is. You know, chances are that's what's gonna be.
Well, if it's a Goulds balanced flow, I'll have a lot of fun with it because what I'll do is I shower the pump with this incredible background in the middle of Ecuador.
Probably nothing fancy. It's probably the world's simplest pump. It's a big sucker of a tank that looks like this. And it has tubes going in and out of it and going like
And that's the problem.
it looks like a Rube Goldberg trick, right? And it now doesn't even have the meter on it that tells us the pressure, which really blows because we used to know that. And when we knew that, well, we
Well,
could.
let me ask you this: is there light down there? Do you want to go look at it?
Oh no, it'd be better in the day.
Okay.
In the day.
Okay.
Because it's not a place you want to be at night. I've been in there
There's
once at night.
snakes.
Snakes. Real exotic spiders. I mean, if you want to see that, that's where to go, you know. But in the day, they don't do anything. But in the
You've
night,
seen on your way walking down the driveway a little tiny closet-sized room.
Yeah,
with
with
a little
water
dog.
noises coming out of it.
That's
Yeah.
where it is.
Oh boy.
water is something that you think about a lot if you live in Ecuador. No, either there's too much or there's none, or you have it and you can't get it to your house, or you can't drink it because of what's in it. I mean, water really becomes a big part of your life. And moving it, we had 45 days of power cuts, and they were 8 to 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, just recently, because there was a drought, and since there was no water, there were in the dams, we ran out, and so we had to carry water, and that's when you wish you had a different kind of system.
I tell you, I know something that would be great for down here.
Because it's dumb that we have to, every time you open a faucet, that it speaks to that stupid bomba down there. When the bomba gets low, it pumps, right? But every time you're using water, that's nuts. Wouldn't it make much more sense for us to have a holding tank here, an elevated, raised holding tank,
Sure.
blow it from down there up to there,
And use
maybe
gravity
twice a
feed.
day, and then let her drop down, right?
Gravity feed. That's
Well,
what they do in every
that-
apartment complex and
I know,
every building.
And we're not doing that because we don't have that. Our bomba's down there, and it shoots the water directly into our tuberia, which is really dumb.
Oh, I see what
It's
I
not
see what
unusual
you're
though.
saying.
It's not
It's
unusual though.
It strikes me as totally dumb. You know, if we own this, when we hopefully own this place, that's all I want to do is put a big tank. The water up there, yeah, works great. We have had homes in which we had to use the bomba to raise it to a tank. And that you might have to do it twice a day on a laundry day, but mostly you do it once.
Yeah, but you could put a little float switch in the tank and it
Yeah.
just kicks on.
Right, you could do, yeah, right.
Yeah, they were.
Is he already,
Both of them are.
both of them
Yeah, the big one is one and the little one.
are?
Yeah, the little one.
It's the little one that you want to.
Well, yeah, that's.
No, but it's convenient when the big